Okay, now that we have SAS installed, the next thing to do is to create input and output file, as well as write a script that will compile SAS code and generate the corresponding CSS code. To do that, I'm going to create a folder in my project root directory and call it, say, styles. Inside this folder, I'm going to have two files. One, the input file where I will have my SAS code written, and the second one, output file where the corresponding CSS code is generated. So for the input SAS file, let me call that main.scss, main.scss. And for the output CSS file, let me call that style.css. I'm using style because in my HTML, I already have this style linked to it. Okay, but you can call it whatever you choose, actually. Now I have the two files, the main SAS file and the style.css file, where the corresponding SAS code that I write here will be dumped. Okay, with that out of the way, the next thing to do is to create a script such that when I run that script, it will grab the SAS code I have in my main.scss, compile it, and generate the equivalent CSS code. To do that, I'll have to go to my package.json file and create that script. Now, if you take note, you see that there is a test script that is there, but it's not doing anything, so I can take that off, okay, and create mine. So this script must have a name, or every script must have a name. So I will call it SAS. Feel free to call it whatever you choose. And this script is to compile SAS code and generate the equivalent CSS. So it's going to do that based on the SAS package we install, space. Then I will go to that main input file, and that is in styles/main.scss. Another space, the output file, and that again is in styles/style.css. Now with this, I have a script written that will compile my SAS code and generate the equivalent CSS. Let me give that a save. So with those out of the way, now let's give it a try and see whether what we've done is working. In my index.html, you can see already I have the style linked already, and I think I showed that in the previous lesson. The style is already linked here, So let me create a heading and see if our setup is working. So let me have an H1 tag here that says, welcome to SAS programming. Give it a save. Now, for me to have the SAS code compile, I will have to run the script I wrote. So to run that, all I need to do is, again, our dear npm run. What do we call that script? We call it SAS. So npm run SAS. And if I hit enter, it should grab the code I have in my main.scss and generate the equivalent CSS code. Okay, since there's no any error, it does mean that the style.css should now have the equivalent of the main.css content. Okay, now, but right now, there's actually nothing yet in my main.css. So I want to do something. I want to create a header, and let's say I have a header and I say color green and say maybe font size 30 pixels. Give that a save. Then come to my index.html and apply that class header. Give it a save. Then this is actually when I should run my script, not the way I did it the first time, because I actually was thinking I have written some SAS code. So now if I run my code, I can just use the up arrow to get it back. Click enter. It should then grab what I have there and generate the corresponding CSS. So let me check my style.css now, see if there's anything there. And there you go. We have what we have written in our main.scss also generated here. You see, we didn't write this one ourselves. It was generated by that package called SAS that we install. So here, we don't need to do anything. We don't need to touch this file at all because it is not us that generated. And in the course of this training, this place is going to be loaded. Now let's get to the browser and see if these styles actually apply to the heading that we have in the index.html file. So let me go to my browser and voila, there you go. You have the text, welcome to SAS programming, turned green. which means that our SARS configuration, it's working. So congratulations. The first things are out of the way now. From the next lesson, it's about getting our hands dirty, SARS.